Hi guys, welcome to part 4 of my PC build series. What I'm going to do in this video is unbox the power supply, get the motherboard installed in the case, as well as the power supply as well. So let's get started. Okay guys, I picked the Corsair HX850, 7-year warranty, 80 plus silver rated, even though this could have been rated an 80 plus gold. So let's see what we got inside. Now off camera I took off the plastic covering because again it's easier to do that off camera. User manual, and we've got Corsair badge and some twist ties and screws. It's always useful. Thick power cable, actually pretty heavy gauge. Now this is the little pouch that has all of your modular cables, and there's a lot of them. And what's cool is, if you can see that, these are flat. So from a cable management perspective, this is really good because you can route these behind your motherboard and not have to worry about bulging cables. But I don't have to worry too much about that because of the case that I got, but that's a nice touch. So there's all different kind of cables, and a pretty cool pouch. Pretty thick foam there. And let's take this out. Wow, this is sitting in like a velvet type bag, which is pretty neat, I guess. I don't know what I would use this for. We'll just get this out of there. So I suppose you can put I don't know, extra parts or whatever in here. I guess if you go to a LAN party or something like that, you can put stuff in there. And here's the power supply. So I think that's I don't know what size that is, maybe 200 millimeter, I can't tell. You can see the specs. Nice kind of bluish silver color, which I think it will match up nicely with my motherboard. That was unintentional. And your motherboard power plugs. Now these aren't modular, but I don't think that's a big deal because you would always have these plugged in. So the fact that they're not is just fine because we will be using those. Okay, so I've got the power supply in the case, and I wanted to show you this little bracket. This is a little support shelf that sits on the back end of the power supply. It's held in with thumb screws, and you can see there are multiple holes here, so this little shelf is adjustable depending on the length of your power supply. So if you have a really long power supply, like a 1000 watt or a 1200 watt power supply, you can just move this shelf back, and now you've got extra support on the back side of this thing so that the mounting screws up in the front aren't going to have a lot of stress on them. So that's a nice little touch. I've mounted this thing with the fan facing down because this case does have a filter underneath, so we'll be sucking in fresh air from the bottom through the power supply and then out the front, or out the back, I guess. I did a quick check, by the way, and the fan that's in this thing is actually 140 mil, so definitely not 200 millimeter. This fan up here is a 200 millimeter fan, and I'm curious to see when I do my motherboard test fit to see if the fan is going to come into contact with the CPU cooler that I've got. So that's our next step. Let's check it out. Alright, so motherboard is in place, not screwed in, just test fit. And I do have enough clearance between the top of this cooler and the top of this fan. What I will need to do though is take this fan cable and pull it back just a bit, because if it does pull out, it'll run right into the fan. But that's easy. It's looking good. Alright, before I finally put the motherboard in place, I wanted to take this back fan out, which I've already done. So this is the 120mm fan that was in the back there. And I'm going to replace it with one of the Sigmatech crystal 120mm fans. So this has got a white LED, should match up nicely with this white LED fan, and then there's the one in the front as well. So I'll take this out and install it, and then I'll put the motherboard in. Here's the I/O shield out of the little packaging, and I wanted to show you the what the back looks like. It's got that foam or foil, and then the foam in the back there, which you can kind of see there. It's pretty cool. Okay, so the motherboard's in place. Fan is in place as well. And I did route power cables through the grommet, back around the motherboard, and again out through here, so I can plug in the power connector here, and then the 8-pin up here. One thing I'm not liking is the how high this cable is out in relation to the plug. This cable right here is so tightly wound that to try and push this down a little bit more to make it flatter, it's actually putting a lot of stress on this. So I think I'm going to see if I can find a way to fix that. I sort of have the same problem over here, not as severe because this is up in the corner, it's out of the way, but still, this is still pretty tight. So I'm going to have to take care of that as well, I think. But overall, I'm very happy with the way this is coming together. I would have just put the whole thing together, but I'm trying to document this, and I can tell you that it's getting tough to slow down, but I'd like to get it all out in video so I can show you guys what I did. Thanks for watching.